Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin. Stories are unearthed. Secrets are revealed. Fortunes are found. Mysteries are solved. And the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the big detecting show, and we're having technical issues. Good evening, Adrian. How are you?
I'm all right, David. How are you? Yeah, all good. Yes.
I have to look out the corner of my eye there to see which way I'm looking, because I never know which way I'm looking.
No. Yes, I'm fine.
Good. Tonight's guest, we are struggling to get a connection with at the moment. He is trying. He keeps popping in and it disappears again. So he's just trying some different tactic at the moment. But we will be with him shortly, I hope, nonetheless. Even otherwise, we'll just talk crap for an hour for a change, Adrian, won't we?
Yeah. What's the weather like near you, Dave, as the British talk about it all the time?
Do you know, it hasn't got a clue what it's doing. I've come home from work. Was it last night or the night before last? Night before last. And honestly, Adrian, I came through floods, and I mean floods above my car wheels. I came through snow, hail, and bright sunshine, all on the way home from a 26-mile trip home from Utah to Congleton through Leek. Absolutely mental.
We've had sunshine, rain, bit of wind, sunshine, rain, and a lot of rain now. But I want the rain because the ground's too dry. So hopefully this weekend it'll calm down a bit and it'll be just perfect for detecting.
Ooh. But at least, but at least you've got a nice, strong spade to get into that dry ground.
Yes, we could talk about the McGrafter again
for a change.
Yeah, no, whatever spade you got, it's just when you dig down now, it's rock hard out here in Essex, but it is getting better. But yeah, I have got the McGrafter.
Have you said in the past that you're very clayey in Essex?
Yeah, a lot of clay in Essex and a lot of flint. So the plough breaks it up, but yeah, we've got a lot of flint. And when it's wet, you know what wet clay's like when you're at school making the pots. It's just really stodgy and vacuuming. But we have nice finds down here. I think we've got someone here. Is Daryl there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, we've got Daryl's voice. Good evening, Daryl.
I'll tell you what, that's a good start, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's better than we've had the up to now anyway.
Do you want me to try the camera or skip that?
You could try.
Right, I'll give it a go. If it all fails, I've got a plan. Bear with.
Pulsating.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Oh, wow. Can you see me?
Yes.
I can see you.
Super stuff. In which case, my mobile phone will be my screen, which isn't ideal.
You want to try turn it on its side, Daryl? Put it into landscape.
Bear with.
There it is. That's better.
Oh,
There we go.
And it's-
Super stuff.
isn't it
Well,
sad? We've got to the point now where mobile phones are more powerful than our home computers. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Isn't
But
it
anyway,
just? This is going to be fun. I should be able to share from the screen, I hope. But I've got to find my presentation, which would be interesting. Is there any way I've got my presentation online? Is there any way that you could bring the presentation up? I could talk through it, and then I'll just ask you to click to the next page.
Certainly, if you send me the link, and we'll sort that. I won't be able to see what's going on though.
Oh, this is brilliant. Isn't it? Wait one.
Christ, I feel like I'm on a ship.
Anyway, while he's doing that, Adrian, where were we?
We're talking about soil conditions in the southeast of England. So hopefully this weekend it will be lovely and perfect to go out. However, my Knox coil was snapped. Common problem with the lugs on it, and I've got to get that fixed. You aware of that, Dave?
No.
So the lugs on the Knox 800, they occasionally go, and it's 3 years old. So whether it's the weather or cold or what, but so there's a quick
3 years already since the Knox came out.
Yeah, because last year didn't happen, did it? So it feels like 2, but it's actually 3. So
was it 2018 that it was the Knox that they jumped out the plane with?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
2018.
No, it was 2017. 2018 was
someone will put it in the chat.
Dilek coming out of the box underground.
When was the Mermaid? 2019.
2019 was the Mermaid and the Valkyries through the.
Yeah,
2017 it was then. Yeah, you're right. Fair play.
Yeah, so that's snapped. So got to get a 3D printed one, and you can get them and buy them. Or I just get a new coil, buy a new coil. So we'll see how that goes. And the Rutus, I'm looking at getting a straight shaft, which Tony Kaywood's got, which he kindly told me where I might be able to get one.
Sorry, a straight
shaft.
Right, straight.
Tony Kaywood. He doesn't. Yeah, Tony Kaywood's shaft's a bit bent. No, the Rutus shaft is a funny. Well, it's all right. It's lovely and it balances well.
He likes buttons, doesn't he, Tony Kaywood?
Yeah, I'm just finishing off his buttons hat that I'm going to give him at Detectable. Bit like the pearly king and queen wear in East London. But yeah, Tony does like his buttons. Although I did find 14 buttons the other weekend, and I thought of Tony every time I was digging them up. But yeah,
I think forevermore, whenever I dig a button up, I'll think of Tony. Not in that way, obviously, more in the button sense than anything else.
Yeah, but if your machine's finding buttons, you're going to find coins and hammers and stuff. So, it's just walking over, isn't it? Like everyone says. So Tony said, let's not get started on this again.
Look who's in the chat room, Niall Bailey. Good evening, Niall Bailey. I haven't seen him since 2019 at Detective.
Good guy, Niall. He's I wonder if he's straight. I mean, his router shaft. Or
not just generally.
But,
hello to everybody in the chat room. There's a lot of people who have emailed me or messaged me in the last week or so. I think I've got about 27 Facebook messages today. Apologies I haven't got back to you yet. I will do so in the very, very near future because I've just work's gone a little bit peculiar, to say the least. But we've got a nice collection of finds to look at the end of the show again, Adrian.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, very much so.
Apparently, people decided they don't want to hear any yickety-yackety music anymore. They prefer me and you talking twaddle over it instead. So,
are we going to do musical youth past the Duchy Panda left-hand side? Tagaboo.
I forgot that. Actually, I forgot what the plan was there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was musical youth.
Was it drop the dead donkey? Was it or something? The program where they had to read out, do something in the style of somebody else.
Yeah, I think it was. Yes.
I'm getting there. So what I'm going to do is send you a link over on Messenger, and then I'll talk you through how to find the presentation. But I've got. Hopefully, it'll work.
Okie dokie. So anyway, so yes, we have to get off somebody. We have to do it in the style of discussing the readers' finds of the week instead of.
Yeah.
I think I've just put Ride of the Valkyries on or something this week, but it was one of them copyright free ones off the video making editor sweetie type thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
Metal Nick detecting seamless show as always. We always have a seamless show. We have no seams; they're just interwoven everywhere.
Well, they're like Velcro; they come apart, but we finally get them back together, don't we, Dave?
Well, something like that.
Yeah.
So have you been out over the past week, Adrian?
No, I've had the week from. I had a new bathroom fitted. So
in your house or in you personally?
Internally, no, in the house, but we've had a few technical issues. So you turn the hot tap on, it's cold.
Well,
you turn the cold tap on, it's hot.
Let me think. Have you got a big poster of the big detective show in your bathroom at all?
It is like it when I wake up in the morning. I have to go to my dad's house and have a shower, which is drive down the road or whatever. But yeah, it's nice getting a bathroom done. But what a faff. So yeah, but I haven't been out detecting last weekend. Going out this weekend. But like I said, the knocks. I've got the Deus I'm playing with Quest Q60. So I've got a fair few machines to try out. Like I said to you the other day, I've got the Deus again now, and I'm really enjoying that. Really enjoying it again. But the Q60 is a good machine. That's going on the beach again this weekend because it seems to like the beach very well. The Q60 is obviously it's waterproof. But yeah, and I was talking to Chris Rogers from Addicted to Bleeps today about because he's got the Q30 and the Q60. And we were talking about the pros and cons between the two, because the Q60 is a lot more money. But yeah, so be interesting. Are you going to go out detecting soon, Dave? Or
I was going out tomorrow, but then my car died, and I'm not going out tomorrow because I haven't got a card. A card. Daryl sent me this link. Please go to PowerPoint second up from bottom. Second up from bottom.
Bottom?
Can you hear me?
There it is. Yes. Is it the Sussex Heritage PowerPoint for children or adults?
Let's go with the adults, shall we?
Marvelous.
Adult bottom.
It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Click, click,
Give it a
click,
minute.
click, 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 click. Click.
Do you want to send it to me or?
It's not that, Adrian. I'm on the website and I'm it's just not coming. Actually, you've got it's when I'm highlighting it, Daryl, the Sussex Heritage Community PowerPoint presentations for adults isn't coming up. However, the Sussex Heritage PowerPoint for children is, and the Duratrigues project is as well.
Goodness me, we're full of ideas.
It looks like we're going for children.
Darn. Okay. Hang on a minute. That can't be right because it just opened. Let me have another go at my end.
Have you read the message that Luke's just sent, Daryl? Because of the obviously issues where we might have to reconvene with this, obviously, because we're not where we should be at all. So I have downloaded a couple of videos off YouTube of yourself, one a 6-minute one and one a 1-minute one. Which, if it's all right with you, as I say, this isn't looking very good at all. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Too many tabs going on. So I'm
so sorry.
I'll tell you, no problem. What we'll do then, Daryl, first and foremost, obviously, just introduce yourself to the viewers. Tell them what's what about who you are, what you do, and then point them to anywhere that you wish them to have a look at. And then obviously me and Adrian will carry on and we'll have a look at the videos in the meantime.
I was going to say there is another alternative. I've got the whole presentation on YouTube if you want to just play it from there. That's me giving you exactly what you get this evening. You just got to click on a button on YouTube. It's up to you.
Right, yeah. What's the YouTube thing?
So the YouTube channel's Sussex Heritage Community.
Okay. So we're on Sussex Heritage Community.
and then go to
52
videos,
videos.
and scroll to the bottom, or go down a bit, and you'll see it says Sussex Heritage presentation threats to our heritage.
Threats to our heritage, the 45-minute one.
Yeah, press play, and that is exactly what I give to you this evening.
Well, I'll tell you what, seeing it's a 45-minute video, I'm going to leave it until the next time, Daryl, when we reconvene, because it's that long. And we'll just have a look at the other. I got a 1-minute video and another one. So, as I say, if you just tell the people about yourself, point them to where you'd like them to find out more about your work and the work of Sussex Heritage and heritage in general, and we'll go from there.
Lovely job. In which case, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much to the Big Detecting Show for allowing me to come and, talk to you this evening. Oh, am I right to keep going, guys?
Certainly, I was just pointing.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was for me. Thanks so much for allowing me to come on. I'm so sorry that the IT has let me down my end. I'd like to have given you a full presentation this evening on kind of threats to our shared heritage and heritage crime. I come from a background of certainly heritage and heritage crime, and now I'm forwarding the Sussex Heritage Community, which is all about engaging, everyone really, to enjoy and understand their history, their heritage, metal detecting, archaeology, all those things that we love about our history. So at the moment, one of the things I'm really closely looking at is working with a few local clubs, a historian, an archaeologist, and myself to come together and to really talk about our backgrounds and with new detectorists, really, in a project that's looking at the induction, I suppose, the induction stage of new detectorists coming through. And I've worked very, very closely with PAS in the past. I've got quite a history kind of locally here in Sussex, and I'm a big fan of metal detecting, and I want to kind of bring those worlds together if I can a little bit better. And hopefully, some of the work that I'm proposing to put forwards will do exactly that. It's a shame I can't go through the presentation, but at some stage, if you get an opportunity, I've got several platforms that I use, media platforms. So I use Facebook and I use Twitter. And I also have a YouTube channel, which I was just talking about a moment ago. And on there, you can find a lot of information about me and about what I do here in Sussex. On the Facebook and Twitter pages, which are Sussex Heritage Community, you'll see that there is an email link there, and you can click that and it will take you to my website. And then on the website is lots and lots of useful information, but also links you can click on and have a look through, including the presentation that I was going to do tonight. Ultimately, I think kind of the message that I really want to do is working in partnership with everybody, because we all love our history. And you essentially, along with many others, are the eyes and ears. You have a passion for, history. So together, if we can look out for it, that's a brilliant thing. Hopefully I can come back and do a presentation soon.
Absolutely. And I hear that this is actually the second time we were supposed to be on the show together, but obviously the first one got cancelled because of a mix-up with other people's dates, and it's we're looking at third time lucky then.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so sorry.
Honestly, it's not an issue. We have this. We've had it multiple times where we've had feeds fail. We've had our own feeds fail. Luke's even packed up not long ago, didn't it, Adrian? So it's just as it is. It's
just one of those things.
Benefits of live television.
For those who are listening on a podcast, the show when it's released, it's not a big issue. So they're still wanting to listen to it. I've just got a few questions, Daryl, if that's all right, Dave.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Is that all right, Dave?
Certainly, yes.
Sorry, I thought we're talking tonight predominantly about metal detecting, but heritage crime encompasses a lot of areas. So what sort of things, obviously there's night hawkers and stuff with detecting, but what other areas do you sort of deal with apart from that?
Well, I suppose what I should do quickly is just let you and your viewers know that I don't represent Sussex Police tonight. I know you've got a lovely picture of me behind you there, and I best just mention that. There you go. I come from it from a kind of volunteer point now. So when I'm looking at kind of threats to our shared heritage crime, it comes in so many different ways, and what that can be is, and one of the most common is really crime that affects churches. So we look at lead theft, look at bronze, brass, copper, all the metals, they all have a value. So that's an issue. But also it might be offertory boxes being pulled out of a wall. It could be York stone slabs being taken out from the front of a church or a historic building. It could be the lead off the roof. It could be stained glass windows. There's all sorts, and that isn't just specific to a church. It's all historic buildings. And a number of them, if you stand there with the eyes of a criminal and have a good look round, it's what that they can pinch and essentially go and melt down or go and sell on in reclamation. For instance, Sussex peg tiles, I know they have a value. We've spoken about the York stone slabs, and you'll see if you look on the internet that sadly they get pinched from war memorials, from churches, from historic buildings. So that's kind of looking very quickly at the building side of things. But then, you know, if we look at, let's say, earthworks, scheduled ancient monuments, Neolithic causewayed enclosures, Bronze Age burial mounds, and start thinking about maybe people without knowledge, this is, driving their 4x4s or their motorbikes over them because they see it as a lot of fun. And you know, they don't understand. A number of people don't understand what they're doing is wrong. And when you look at why these things happen, there are several reasons for that. And it can be selfishness, it can be greed, it can be a lack of understanding, or it can be that people know what they're doing, such as stealing lead off a roof, or it might be the illicit detectorist, you know, going out targeting an artifact rich site that he knows is wrong, he or she, should I say. But also, I can talk about, for instance, Madeira Drive in Brighton. I don't know if any of you know Brighton, but along the prom there, a couple of years ago, absolute shed load of copper and lead was stolen. Now that's organised crime. Okay, you haven't just gone there to pinch a little bit, you pinched a lot. Another thing to be considering and thinking about is, I'm doing all this off the top of my head without my presentation, so you have to bear with me. Live ordnance. Ordnance is an issue. And as detectorists, you guys know that, because I don't doubt, I know that I've spoken to many detectorists that have found, you know, 2.5 inch, 3 inch mortar shells, live rounds, grenades, that kind of stuff. Indeed, bullets, 303 rounds, you know, 50 cal rounds. It's all out there. It's all World War II and some World War One, but it is out there. And the dangers of that, not only the dangers to you as detectorists, but also there are some people that are just going out to find that stuff to take home because they want to keep it, and it's incredibly dangerous. So there's education around that to look at. Also, you know, heritage isn't just you know, you've heard me say Neolithic. You know, we can talk about the Roman, we can talk about the Iron Age, we can talk about Saxon, right the way through Viking up to modern day. But modern day stuff is our heritage too. So there are some buildings out there that are built today that are immediately listed, and they're listed because they're very unique. So I often like to try and say to people, don't think as heritage as something that's always old. It can be something that's new. Another area of our heritage is our motoring heritage, and that's quite important to think about. People sometimes will forget. For instance, I talk about a Manx Norton motorcycle when I do my presentation because one of those was stolen. An incredibly rare machine, but also it could be your Ford Anglia. It could be your Ford Escort Mark 1 Mexico. They all have a heritage value, if that makes sense. So again, it may not be Neolithic or prehistoric. It may not be, you know, early Middle Roman. It could be a Ford Mexico. It could be a Victorian lamp in the high street. Do you know what I mean? So it could be a post box. It could be a milepost. It could be something that has, and I think most things have a connection to us, don't they? No matter how old they are, they can be fairly new, but still mean something.
That's interesting.
So,
You see post boxes. Is
yeah,
that common?
it can be quite. It's not common, but it can happen. And you look at Victorian, Edwardian, or Georgian post boxes for an ornamental value. Of course, people sadly will pinch them and sell them to people who might like them at the front of their house. Or we've all probably been to weddings where there's a post box and you pop your letters through the little, your gifts and your cards through a post box. Is that post box a legit post box, if you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And these post boxes hold a value, anything from £250 upwards. So, those more rural locations where these things might be targeted, they are part of our street furniture, a part of our history. And they're very old, and we should be kind of looking out for it and looking after it, if that makes sense.
If you don't mind me asking, Daryl, why have you got such a passion in heritage crime? And you're a PCSO there by the look of uniform?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't speak on behalf of the police. So
no, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But what made you? Because obviously, when we're detecting, I often deal with sort of people trespassing on the farmer's land, fly tippers. I'll go over to them and shoot them. Or no, I won't. But if you're not talking on behalf of the police, I'll say what. But no. So what made you so passionate about saying, I want to specifically deal with that area of heritage crime, or did it just come up?
I've always been interested in history. I have from a very young age, it's something that I'm hugely interested in. And it's so sad, isn't it? And you guys will know what I mean by this, by provenance. When something disappears or gets stolen, it loses its provenance, doesn't it? Because we don't know where that thing came from. It might be that it can tell us a lot about a certain area, a certain place, and it's gone, it's been taken. And I think just deep down, I feel that's really wrong. And it should be, and I don't want this to sound cheesy, but it's just future generations that are going to miss out on this, isn't it? When we were kids, we all probably really enjoyed, I don't know, going to maybe the local fort, castle, or whatever it might be. But if people go there and start smashing that place up, it will be our grandkids that don't get that opportunity that we had to enjoy it and understand it and love it. So I think it's that passion that drives me to kind of reach out to everybody in the heritage world and say, do you know what? Here's some of the things that happen, and it's really sad, but together we all love our history, so let's look out for it.
Are you obviously you're talking about educating people and talking to clubs?
Yes.
Do you find the average I presume you've spoken to people who are new to the hobby of metal detecting?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you what percentage would you say off the top of your head, and you're not talking on behalf of Sussex Police here, would you say fully understand the rules and the guidelines for metal detecting?
Do you know, I was talking about this on Twitter the other day, and if I had to put it in a percentage wise, I would say that a third, if not slightly more, of all detectorists are ethical, law abiding, recording, doing it all the right way. You've probably got just under a third at the other end of the spectrum that are on Nighthawks, illicit detectorists that are doing it wrong. And there's a swathe in the middle that probably don't realise or understand what they're doing, and probably haven't necessarily looked into it. They're the ones that, if I can work with local detecting groups and we can try and reach out to lots of people that might be interested in the hobby but haven't yet gone and brought a detector, and say, do you know what, here's some fantastic local groups. If this is your bag and this is a thing you want to go and do and get interested in, then contact us and come and have an induction, come and have a chat, see what it's all about. That's kind of what I see.
Yeah, I do. I know there was I won't say famous case, but near where I live in Essex, the largest hoard of gold status was found last year, and the guy was charged for holding some back, and he was also charged for not handing them in within the 14-day period. However, he did hand them in, but he gave them to the landowner to hand them in because he thought, oh, I'll give it to the landowner. So the landowner handed them in after 3 or 7 days. So it wasn't him in person. And he thought, oh, well, I'll give it to the landowner because it's his land. So he got charged for not handing it in. So there's certain little areas like that you probably think, you know, oh, I'll give it to the farmer because it's his land, but he got charged and he did keep some behind or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I know you're only dealing with Sussex as a sort of area at the moment, but have you been in contact with any other police forces on this sort of the way you're working?
No, not at the moment. I'm only 6 months in. No. only 6 months into kind of doing this in a volunteer capacity, trying to work with people and use some of my skill sets, knowledge to push forwards. And yeah, definitely, I'm going to try and work with neighbouring counties because that's really important to pull it together. You and I know that, you know, people that are out there thieving lead off a church roof, you know, they'll go to other counties. They're going to ignore boundaries. They don't see them like maybe other people do. So yeah, there's a whole lot more I would like to do, but it's starting small and growing.
Have you been in contact? Sorry, my voice broke then. I think I'm just going through puberty. Have you been in touch with like the NCMD or anyone to discuss things?
No, not yet, but it is on the list, I think, at some stage. Because how do I put this? The best way to say it is I'm in my infancy with the idea of the induction idea, working with 3 metal detecting groups in Sussex. We are yet to get together. We only kind of come up with this idea a week ago. And that was mainly because you guys will know this, there is a lot of conversations out there, and some people, you know, get very passionate about it and very upset, which I understand. But rather than getting passionate and upset, if I can try and help bridge a gap and kind of I don't know the words for this, but get the right kind of people together, and then we can work with new detectorists, I think that'd be fantastic. And I can't say the clubs that I'm going to be working with at the moment, but there's 3 clubs and they're very keen to come on board. And yeah, let's all work together. That's what I say.
Fantastic. Well, listen, we'll let you go now, Daryl. I've lined up the first of the videos. Obviously, me and Adrian will come back and chat shortly. But if anybody does want to communicate with you or look at the work that's going on in Sussex regarding the heritage, crime, etc., where can you point them to, please?
So please come. First of all, the easiest place to find me is on Facebook, Sussex Heritage Community. You can go to Twitter, and I'm on there as Sussex Heritage Community. And on those 2 social media platforms, you'll find a link to my website, and essentially you can email me on sussexheritagecommunity@gmail.com, and I can come back to you that way. And yeah, they are the 3 ways of contacting me.
Fantastic. Well, as I say, we'll communicate in the near future, and we'll line up another date for you to come on and hopefully get it all sorted. But in the meantime, thanks again for popping along tonight, Daryl, and we obviously look forward to speaking to you at length in the future.
Super stuff. Thank you so much, and I apologise. Take care.
Not your fault. Cheers. It's the curse of the show.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Good night. Luke, could you run the VT, please, love?
It's busted, Dave. It's another thing that's broken. Yeah. It's all gone pear-shaped.
In the bin.
Projector's jammed. Yeah, it'd be good to get Daryl on. I'm not sure about his comment about a third of detectorists are dodgy, but probably 0.3%. But yeah, there isn't any stats, and there never will be on that. So yeah.
Let me just. I'm just changing the video. Let's see if that works. Luke, it's back up again. Oh, there we go.
in the years that I've looked after the village of Crowhurst, the church itself has had other problems with crime. It's had problems through antisocial behaviour. We've had people trying to set alight to the porch. We've had crime where people have tried to steal a safe from the wall, and where they've tried doing that, of course, it's wrecked the fabric of that church, where they've tried forcing it out. Sometimes it's not obvious. Sometimes people that are stealing the lead, it looks as though they're meant to be there, and they might be repairing or fixing or doing something with a church roof. You've got to be looking out for the people that are turning up at night with torches, with spades, maybe one or two of them, maybe in camouflage clothing, dark clothing. Let's look at, are they trying to keep themselves out of the way? Are they in an area, a churchyard, a scheduled ancient monument, are they in an area where maybe they shouldn't be?
So that was the first of the videos. Got another 6-minute one coming up in a little bit later, which I have no idea what it's about because I can't remember what I downloaded, but let's just have a line that up now, I'll be able to say. That next one is called Exploring Heritage Crime with Sussex Police. So there you go. That's the next video that will be up in a wee while. So Adrian, heritage-wise, have you personally had much to do with anybody regarding heritage crime in your area in Essex?
Well, there was the other week. A guy went to court, like I said, and I've seen him detecting in the field. He was detecting him for the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I think it was a bit of stupidity he found 1,300 staters and he kept 23, but some reason he kept them because he was washing them and left them on the fridge or something. I don't know. But he had a big problem, and this is what a lot of us don't realise. He asked the farmer for permission. The farmer said yes. The farmer wasn't the landowner. The landowner lived down in Devon or somewhere.
All right,
so he thought it was all fine. So when he did find the coins and tell the farmer, he said, well, actually, it's not my land. He said it's, and I thought, oh, God. So, he's probably thinking, oh, I've lost my bottle of whiskey at Christmas. But the guy who was detecting on it, then it all started going a bit pear-shaped. He then gave the coins to the landowner, who then declared them to the coroner, but you have to go yourself. You can't get someone else to do it. I'm not sure how that worked with COVID and stuff, but we've had that. We've had the church quite often gets lead taken off the roof, although there's a real meathead bloke who I've seen who lives near me who goes to church now. I think when you get older, you start regressing, and he's like covered in tattoos and got a big cobweb round there and like a teardrop there. He used to be like a hardcore skinhead, and he goes to church now, and I see him parading around the outside late at night. So we don't have lead problems anymore.
Jerry Fuller says the more fashion crime in Essex, surely isn't that where white stilettos come from?
No, they don't. It's very different in Essex.
Tell me that you haven't got a pair of white stilettos.
I have, yeah.
Well,
they're latex, so they're a bit loose, but no, we don't. I've had a few girlfriends over the years, and none of them have had white stilettos. It's a specific. No, I've taken them off them, but no, heritage crime. The post office thing's interesting because I saw something at the post box. We have a lot of the stones in the road, like 10 miles to London, 15 miles to London. I've forgotten what they're called. And I've seen a few
milestones.
Yes, that's the word. Milestones. And they're lovely. They're lovely. They really are. And they're beautiful. And there's been a few of those I've seen recent years been unearthed. I mean, how the hell you get them up? And someone's probably got them in their back garden of their terraced house somewhere. But yeah, it's
hold on a minute. Why are you calling people in terraced houses? I've got a terraced house. You're calling all people in terraced houses thieves?
No, but they don't often have big gardens, so you've got this massive tombstone. I've got
a double terrace. I've got a double back garden.
Yeah, double terrace, double back garden. But no, it's. I mean, one of the other things that I think Daryl needs to be aware of is when you are metal detecting on a permission, you do keep night hawkers, or you keep an eye out for them. The holes you find. Fly tipping, predominantly a bad problem at the moment, especially with COVID, because our refuge site or dump, this time 2 years ago, it'd take you 15 minutes to pull up and chuck your sofa. Now it takes you an hour because it's like restrictions and limited. So there's more and more people fly tipping. And if
we're going back to interrupting you for a moment, where I live in Congleton in Cheshire at the moment, we've got more or less exactly the same is going to be going on, and that's the Congleton tips times up, and they won't give us a new tip, so they're taking the tip away, and it's going to be a cost to drive through. I've got no problem with the cost to drive through, obviously, but we won't have a tip, which therefore Congleton is very, very, very rural, around a hell of a lot of countryside. Great for metal detecting, obviously, but it's all pasture. But as I say, it's going to cause so much fly tipping, it's untrue. I'm in communication with PC Robert Simpson from the Cheshire Rural Crime. They're great on Facebook, following them on Facebook. The trips and things that they get up to is great. And then sadly, when we're talking about heritage crime, we've got to bring up this past week the 5 people from the Greater Manchester area who've been basically had the machines taken away from them and told that they're never allowed to metal detect on English heritage land again. Wait a minute.
They couldn't have looked.
Have you read the report?
I started reading it. I looked at the pictures and I thought, God, flipping heck, that's really doing our hobby the world of good, isn't it? I mean, they've
been banned from metal detecting on English heritage land. I thought that shouldn't be the case anyway.
So but what you read in the press is just ignore it.
No, this is actually direct from the Cheshire Police report.
Yeah, I think
the article on the ArkMD website that went out on Sunday night links direct to the Cheshire Police.
Right. Yeah. I until things. I don't like talking about things. It's gone to court and stuff, but until you see the final things, but they destroy their detectors. In other words, they'll put them on an auction through the police or something, but they'll go out and buy new ones. And it's just.
I'm just actually trying to bring up the article, and I'll share the screen. And then, there was a good article the other night as well by Otis Arms, Tom Dempster. Is the Treasure Trove Scotland fit for purpose? That was a good read.
Well, right, like I said, I've got no flow. I've emailed them about the find I put in 2 years ago. Nothing back. So
right, I'm just sharing the screen to bring up this article regarding the heritage crime regarding the Thameside night hawking gang. So there they are, all the mugs.
Bottom right, love that.
He looks like he's out of what's that film called? All the Essex gangster films he's in. Can't remember his name.
He looks like the brother from something about Mary with Cameron Diaz in, the one who wears earmuffs. The one on the bottom left looks like My Name Is Earl.
No, it doesn't.
The one on the top left looks like the waiter in Fawlty Towers.
No, he looks more like the waiter out of Benidorm.
Actually, Rooney, one in the middle, looks a bit like Rooney.
Anyway, this is the Cheshire Police website. So they've had fines, they've had surcharges, they've had the machines taken away from them. They've ordered to forfeit all the artefacts and their metal detectors of an estimated value of up to £1,000 and above. This all went on English heritage sites of Beeston Castle and a Roach Abbey. I don't actually know where that is off the top of my head. But as you can see, where's that comment? It's I can't find where it is. But basically, it says they're not allowed to metal detect on English heritage land. For God's sake, I think everybody scratched their head at that one.
I hope it's a typo.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's sickening, isn't it? When you the thing is, the farmer I detect on with my mate, he's got loads of these little like camouflage cameras now all around the field, hidden. Because there is a few night hawkers on there, because we get a lovely bit of field that's been rolled just before they seeded it, and then you get on it and think, oh yeah, great, and then you see little holes and a tin can, little hole, foil. Yeah. But he's putting these cameras up now, so what are they, £100 each, and they're infrared motion sensing. He can spot them and find them. And I
there was
think
we've done an article last month, didn't we, where something very similar. We were looking at the epidemic of night hawking, asking was it an epidemic or is it a media instigated epidemic where all the stories were coming out because of the media. And there was somebody actually had set some of the trail cams up and had there was an oldish woman and two men with her as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, great photo of them. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know how you can report fly tipping. People don't think of reporting metal detectorists, but people do blatantly go out in broad daylight with a high vis on just to.
Yeah, but saying that again, there's a lot of people on the back of the article that I just mentioned who said, I actually go metal detecting at night.
Yeah, some people.
I prefer to. And, you know, they've got the torch on or what have you. They've got permission to do it. The landowner knows they're doing it. But, you know,
well,
it
Chris
swings and roundabouts in some respects, isn't it?
Chris Rogers, addicted to bleeps, he goes at night. I think he doesn't film it because he goes at night because he doesn't have to film it. He can enjoy himself. But yeah, do you know what? I've detected in semi-darkness, but not full darkness. Maybe I might do that this year.
I like bed too much. I'd rather go to bed than go metal detecting at night.
No, I think I'd like it. A few cans of beer.
I have actually been known to get up at 5 o'clock and be metal detecting for 5:30 in the morning because I don't sleep at night.
Yeah, early. But I'd be interested in how many people do detect at night in the chat, actually.
Yeah, hands up in the chat if you go or have been nighttime detecting, and how much more difficult is it to actually find your finds at night?
I reckon it's probably easier because you don't get any ramblers. You found anything yet? Have you ever found anything interesting?
True, and I think you'll have a heightened senses as well, so you'll be, you know, more sensitive to the surroundings. It's quieter. There's not much going on with the world of traffic and such like. So,
I think it is freaky, the noises and the animals you hear at night in forests and stuff. So it would be a right laugh, actually. What?
Liverpool just equalised against the Dirty Manx. Sorry.
Oh,
just had a little thing come up against the side of my screen.
Oh, History Unearthed. He's got a trail cam, costs 50 quid, and it's brilliant. Check out my new YouTube videos. Oh, I've seen your YouTube video. 50 quid. Yeah. I mean, it's like when I go out with my mate detecting, we have walkie-talkies as well as mobile phones, but if we haven't got a signal, it's good having a walkie-talkie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A couple of times we've seen hair coursers, certain travellers who do hair coursing, and it's so much easier to have a walkie-talkie, and they're only like 20 quid on Amazon. But yeah, it's a pain, people and all that.
It's not just that; it's health and safety for me. If I'm out with somebody metal detecting and I'm to fall down a hole and bang my knee, then they're like, "Where is he? Got no mobile phone reception." You just shout me on the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's worth it. Recommend it. And they're also, when you've got a mobile phone, potentially worth 1,000 quid, and you're covering it in mud as well. So yeah,
I just read what Tony K would said. There are people with shotguns in the countryside. Why the F would I want to detect at night?
Because they don't shoot at night, Tony. Don't shoot.
They would if he had a little torch on the top of his head.
Yeah. I suppose they could think you're lamping for rabbits.
Or all the light would be illuminating from his thousands of buttons, and they'd think he's some sort of like extraterrestrial.
It'd be like sparkling star. I bet, it'd be quite interesting seeing Tony at night. It'd be like some sort of 70s disco diva with his hat. Actually, I don't think it is going to be a hat I'm making him. It's going to be more of a beret. Beret.
What's his name? Dick Emery. Dick
Emery, yeah.
Anyway, I've lined up this second video. Luke, would you like to run the second video? It's about 6 minutes long, so keep abreast of this one.
I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm walking through England exploring the landscape and our heritage. Today, I'm investigating heritage crime. I've come to Shoreham Fort in West Sussex to listen to Daryl Holter, the police heritage crime lead, to find out more.
Heritage crime is any offence which damages or harms the value of England's heritage. I monitor all the heritage crimes that come into Sussex And each week I look at all those reported crimes, and you can see that a huge amount of our heritage assets, our heritage, shared heritage, does get affected by crime. And there is a huge amount we can do to look after our heritage. A large, important part of my role is going out to people and talking to them about heritage crime, looking at education and prevention, and really pulling people together and asking them to report heritage crime. I think there is a lot of apathy around heritage crime. A lot of people don't realise that heritage crime is crime. Okay, so all the things that we would look at, the police ad is day to day, it is applicable to our heritage. And what I need to try and get people to understand is if you see something that's happening to a heritage asset, let's say it's a castle, some earthworks, or even a Royal Mail postbox, whatever it might be, something that is from our, that is our heritage, if it's being stolen, if it's being damaged, if it's being removed, if it's being sold where it shouldn't be, tell us about it. It's a crime like any other crime, and that's the thing I need people to understand. I'm going to talk about churches for a moment, because churches are probably the highest victim to heritage crimes week in, week out. And a lot of churches will have lead stolen from the roof. Some churches will have damage, criminal damage. Some might have stained glass windows smashed or stolen. All sorts of things, unfortunately, heritage related, happen to our churches. So what I would say is if you see somebody that's acting suspicious, strange, out of place, near a church, maybe they're taking lead off the roof. Maybe they're hanging around there late at night, you think they might be trying to break in. Maybe somebody's trying to steal an offertory box from inside the church, but in doing so, they're damaging the building to get the box out the wall. Another example of that might be, let's say, a local castle or a fort or something similar to that having graffiti sprayed, daubed up the side of it. That might be a scheduled ancient monument. It may well be a protected or a listed building. And if we think about paintwork and paint, that can be absorbed into brickwork. Once it's painted on there, you can't get the paint out. So you have to damage that building to try and clean it and try and repair it. I think ultimately future generations are going to lose out if we don't start looking after our heritage. We can't get our heritage back. Once it is stolen, removed, sold without provenance, it's gone. And it really has gone. We can't go and get another X, Y or Z from a shop, order it online, it's gone completely. Even the people that made these items are no longer here. The skills have left. If that's it and it's gone, we lose our heritage. Not just we lose it, future generations lose it. They then don't have the ability to understand, interpret, read into all the heritage items we have around us today. We're losing our story, and we don't want to do that. I think it's a really bad idea. Future generations will suffer. We had a report twice last year, actually, the same gravestone. And I talk about lead theft. There's one particular gravestone that was targeted, like I say, twice, where the lead infill of the letters on the gravestone were picked out. Now, if you can imagine that's your family member, maybe your mum, your dad, your grandparents, and you go back to that gravestone and see that's happened, for the price, the value of a pence, 2p, no value, and you weigh that up against the impact that will have on that family, it's incredible. And we will view that as a heritage crime in the same way. It's in the graveyard of the church gets targeted for the lead theft as well. And that, that's really impactful. That's really, really harsh. A call I received from Historic England to say that they had some information, someone was selling a Spitfire machine gun, a Browning 303. And I researched that call and eventually collected the gun off a member of public who had found the gun back in the early 1960s. The chap that got it didn't have a firearms licence, he didn't have a Section 5 firearms licence, which is what the gun is. And we had quite a long conversation, and cut a long story short, we took the gun away, and we've managed to rehome the gun at RAF High Wycombe, which is really, really good. Inside the gun, when it was made safe by our force firearms man, there was a live round still in its breech. And I want to talk about firearms and ordnance because it is an issue that I don't doubt that there is more firearms and ordnance still in people's houses left over from World War II. We get regularly calls to say that people have found ordnance. But also, ordnance comes up all over the place, and I want to kind of get across to people, it is dangerous. If you find it, call the police. Don't even touch it. You do not know what state it's in. You do not know if it's live. You might be out and about, walking around, and actually find bits of ordnance up on the downs. And if you do, don't touch it, call the police.
That's better. Put my mic on. Just to point out, Bald Explorer isn't his website. That was the person who had put the video together of him. It was at the start. Looking at that video, though, Adrian, the fort itself, I think it was a fort, looked absolutely well worth a visit.
Yes, very much so. I love going down there, Sussex. It's where Luke lives, isn't it?
Never been.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely.
I've never been to Essex. The closest I've been to any of that is driving to Dover to go to France when I was a school kid. That's about it.
Well, no, Sussex is a beautiful part of the country. Really, really nice. But there are not a lot of finds. Funny enough, I researched it before the show. 27 treasure cases in 2019, the last PAS report. Compared to like Essex, which was 85. But yeah, but it is a very nice area, very, very nice area. Thank you, Darren Booth, also for just sending me the link for that trail cam he uses. Appreciate that. But yeah, it's interesting.
Is Eagle-Eyed DJI a metal detecting friend of yourself?
No.
No, hold on a minute. Somebody put some up.
I've got a dog in my house. I've got a dog in my house.
You got a dog in your house, and
yeah.
Tom, you don't normally got a dog in your house.
Is there a dog here there? Yeah, that's right.
I can't find it now, but somebody said,
I haven't got a dog in my house.
I know where it was. It was further up, that's why. They said, Eagle-Eyed DJI, yeah, let's go on the haunted field by the church, Adrian. He's my buddy for metal detecting. Yeah, we detect. We've had stories about things, voices and hearing things and footprints and weird stuff, and not footprints much, but yeah, church, very old church. I'm trying to think of the age, but yeah, we've had some weird things and we get freaked out. And we also thought we saw a white leopard kind of thing in the field a few years ago. So yeah, but detecting at night, we were saying, people saying in the chat about the animals and stuff. I went detecting the other week and we were in a forest and it was really quiet, and it was a forest in the middle of a field. Hardly anyone had been in it, and there was a lot of old like 1970s 80s bottles. You can tell kids had been there, but since kids have grown up and PlayStations came out and Xboxes, they don't go out anymore. And as I walked through the forest, there was we have wild boar in Essex, so like a pig with horns basically, and that come running out, and that frightened the life out of me. And then there was muntjac deer. Have you heard of muntjac deer? Yeah. It's just because I live up north doesn't mean I don't know.
Well,
animals.
They're normally in Essex, but I didn't realise they come from China. And they're really bad for our countryside. And there's one of those laying dead. Fox had got it, I think a badger by the look of it. Had rip marks down it. But there was a muntjac deer, and they were originated in our country in the 20th century by the Chinese, and they're awful. They go around on their own. They don't go around in herds or anything, and they just rip up the countryside. And I didn't know that. I just thought, oh, nice, pretty deer, but they're not. They're troublesome. Sorry, rant over.
Do you know, going back to trail cams and stuff, people who don't know what I used to do before I started up the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine, I was sub-editor of Phenomena magazine and all related things to peculiarity, paranormal, UFOs, and very much so cryptozoology and the study of ABCs, alien big cats in the countryside in the UK. When people are spotting a panther this and doing that, then the other. And one of the bees I've got on my bonnet at the moment is there's a website started called Northwest Puma Watch, or so North Wales Puma Watch, and they're putting all sorts of shit all over the internet. And not just that, but one of the things that we were doing was, if there is something out there, you protect it. elsewhere, you're going to have them putting all these things all over the UK, and people are going to out to go and kill the cat. Let's go and catch the cat. Let's go and find the cat. And you're not protecting the animal then. And when we go back to trail cams, we actually had a trail cam set up in the Peak District because we believe to have found a family of lynx, and we proved that there was lynx there. We've got video footage of it on the trail cam. We protected. We haven't told. There's about 5 people know the whereabouts of this location. Nobody else knows about it. We won't tell anybody else about it. We informed the wildlife officer. That was about it. And we found actually where in Derbyshire these cats actually came from. And there was a. Have you seen the film Dead Man's Shoes?
Yeah.
Ryber Castle in that at Matlock Bath. Yeah. Well, that used to be a zoo. And basically, they were selling people animals, and loads of the lynx escaped. When it was shutting down, it was going bust. They were selling animals just willy-nilly to people. Come up in your car, buy a chimpanzee or whatever animal it was. I can't remember what more. But there were a lot of lynx that escaped. And if you follow the watercourses in the area, because we found that the animals travel via watercourses, obviously to keep near to it, fish, food, etc., water. And it goes all the way to the location that we know they reside. There you go. Little story for you about lynx.
It makes sense, doesn't it? Because something like that could easily escape years ago in like the 40s and 50s. It's like there's a famous Carry On film. No, not Carry On film. That's just my head. There was a film done at London Film Studios where they used loads of parakeets. And they escaped. And ever since, somewhere in London, there's loads of parakeets everywhere. Someone will put it in the chat. But you see a parakeet outside, you think, oh, someone's lost it out of the cage. But they've become they live in
You'd actually be surprised still the amount of exotic animals that are purchased both legally and illegally in the UK. The exotic animal illegal trade in exotic animals is one of the biggest crimes, or was in the last 10 years in the UK. And you're talking anything from snapper turtles through to cats, through to monkeys, snakes, all sorts.
Might have an anteater or something in my hall because the door's shut, and I heard some sort of animal scurrying. I think it's my son's girlfriend's dog he's brought round. I hope it is.
I thought you were going to say it's your son's girlfriend. That wasn't very nice.
No. She's more like a monkey. No. No. She don't watch this. But it's interesting when you think of all the animals you see in the country. But that's one of the benefits of our hobby. You see some. I'll tell you what I saw the other day: a tree crawler or tree climber bird. Have you heard of that? It climbs a tree like a squirrel. It goes around the outside.
Really?
Yeah, it spins round. I think it's called a tree climber or a tree grabber. And it's like a squirrel. It goes round a tree like that. And I saw it with my mate, and they're quite rare. But we see loads of stuff when we're out detecting. So nice. I love it.
It is the amount of animals that we do see. Tree creeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 83 people. And also the parakeets. Someone said in Enfield, Hyde Park. I thought other things went on at Hyde Park, to be honest. Heathrow. Thanet, Hampstead Heath, so quite a few areas.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's stuff out there, but you say I've seen a cat. I saw a cat. Christ, I used to shoot air rifles. Well, I'd like to do it again, but and you go out shooting. I can remember seeing a cat once, and I thought it was like some big cat, and it was just a really, really fat cat. And when I say fat, I mean it was the size of like a border collie or something like that. It was a big
true story. About 7 years ago in Leek, which is near me, it was reported that somebody had a lion. It was a mancoon. Man, is that the correct term? People who know cats will know it. Mancoon or something like that. And it's a massive domestic pussy cat, and they'd actually shaved its head into like a mane.
Oh, cool.
Sure, it's a man's. I'm gonna have to Google that now.
Because you get massive dogs, don't you? So you're supposed to get but
Maine Coon, sorry, not a raccoon, a Maine Coon. Maine. So it's obviously a from North America, but big putty cats. In fact, let me just show you this picture of this Maine Coon. Let me
Big
share the
pussy.
screen.
You're putting a big pussy on the screen, Dave.
I'm going to put a massive pussy on the screen.
Oh,
Let me just
followers have gone up. Oh, it's shot up. Oh, blimey.
Luke, are we sharing?
God,
Here
what
we
we
are.
got?
Oh, why does it do this? Is why I stopped doing this. Look, crap everywhere.
Yeah.
Get off. Cancel. Get off. Get off. Here we are. That's not it. They are. Look at them.
Oh my God.
She's only 2'7", that woman though.
Where's that? Is that in this country?
I think that one's a photo from Sergei Ginak, so it may be. It is the world's largest living domestic cat by the Guinness Book of Records. Let me just click on that on the Guinness Book of Records. There you go. Italian cat, 120 centimeters long. Look at him. That's a big cat. I said cat then, didn't I? Correctly.
I'm just going to see. I think I've got. I'm just a second. Sorry. Talking of animals.
Adrian's gone on one. Yeah. History and Earth, Darren Booth. Podcast listeners be wondering what the hell you're showing, though. Yes, we are showing big cats. Yes, it was a Maine Coon that had been shaved.
I've got a big cat.
So,
it's my son's girlfriend's dog, Nancy.
Why's Nancy got a bandana around its neck?
Because we live in Essex, and that's what we do to dogs on stuff. So, yeah, she's lovely. She's called Nancy. I did wonder what it was. I'll let her go now. Sorry,
I've got to go on Facebook because the lovely Mrs. Higgins has just sent me a picture, and I've got to share it definitely if I can find. There it is.
Is it another big pussy?
It's a breaking news one, Adrian. It is a breaking news one. Let's share the screen again. This is Babacoom Model Village.
I've been there.
Have you?
Babacoom Model Village.
Look, Bank Holiday Monday Madness is a giant cat blocks the miniature village road. Do you know one of my favourite films growing up, Adrian? Do you remember it? Digby, the biggest dog in the world.
Yeah, I used to like that. And I
love that film.
At Christmas Day, my wife was working, my daughter was working, my son was out, and I watched what's that? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and I really like that. I like all them sort of films. Don't have films like that anymore, do we? It's all too animated and stuff.
Talking of films coming out, I watched the trailer for one that's due out any moment now called The Green Knight, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. It just looks like a whole new take on the Arthurian legends.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, all good. What is Daryl coming? Sorry.
No, I'm just checking how long till the draw.
Is Daryl coming back on the show soon? Is he?
Well, we'll speak obviously off there because as I think we've got next week, we've got That's Brad. The following week, we've got the chaps from the Lost Relics of the Knights Templar, and then we haven't actually got anybody booked in thereafter yet. As I say, I've been a bit all over the place.
Chris Rogers.
Oh yeah, Rich Parkinson. The Goodies had the giant cat on BT Tower. Remember it?
Yes, they did. Goody, yum yum. Yeah, that was massive in its day, wasn't it? I never found it that funny though. I didn't find it that funny.
The Goodies.
Yeah, I didn't find it that funny.
They were one of that brand of highly intelligent comedians, weren't they?
Yeah, I found it was almost like Rolf Harris and everything. It was all no, it wasn't. They weren't, but it was all like I was almost like a bit fascinated about them because they were a bit weird, weren't they? When we were
very much the Monty Python, mate.
Yeah, I was Monty Python. Yeah, so that was fun, and it still is.
Green Knight will have some way to go to beat the Holy Grail.
Yeah, definitely.
Kerry Fuller, the Goodies, Dick Emery was so down with the kids. I've got cramp, Adrian.
Again? Dick Emery. Anyone who's watching tonight who hasn't seen Dick Emery, who's younger than me and Dave, just Google it on YouTube because it was so bizarre, and it would never be allowed. Yeah, it would never be allowed on television again. It was.
Oh, mate, most stuff would. Alf Garnett would never get away with television these days.
No, it wouldn't. Although there is. We were talking at work today about the Generation game with oh God, what's his name?
Larry Grayson.
Not Bruce Forsyth, the other one.
Larry Grayson.
Yeah, with his gold chain and all that. I mean, that was brilliant. And it was. I don't know. It was 70s television, game show and television, and everything was brilliant. Everything was brilliant in the 70s. Metal detecting was brilliant because we had a lot of stuff on the field.
Detecting from the 70s, 80s, the video that I shared on the Big Detecting Show last night.
Yes, Dave. Did you want to explain? Could you just show a clip of it?
I can't because BBC copyright and what have you.
Oh.
But it was absolutely phenomenal. Basically, there's a chap. Wasn't he the coolest dude ever? He's going through dredged material with his metal detector, C-scope, 600 series, similar to that. He's got boards strapped to his feet so he didn't sink. And did you see the Roman coin that he pulled out?
Yeah, and it was genuine as well.
Oh. Yeah. And he said that I might go 3 hours before I pull a Roman coin out every now and again. I've still never pulled one out.
No, I think it was less than that, Dave. I thought he said 30 minutes or something. Was it 3 hours? Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I thought, what? But he was from up your end of the country, but he was in Colchester, in Essex. So I don't know what he was doing down here. He might have been at Southend for the day with his boards on his feet and decided to go detecting in Colchester. But yeah.
Luke, can I share the screen? Because we're about to have the live prize draw. Sorry, Adrian, carry on.
Prize draw. I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, watch that video on the Big Detecting Show homepage. It's funny. It's really
Adrian,
funny.
Number between 1 and 54. Oh, here we go. First prize is identifying metal articles. Artifacts.
And articles. 16.
42.
No, 19. 19.
42.
Paul Hartcastle, 19.
42. Answer to everything. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There you go, Kerry. There's another one. Oh, 7.
Not admin again, is it? 0. It's going to be 1, isn't it?
8.
Oh.
Golden Stokesy again. Golden Graham Stokes again. I don't know. Second prize tonight is the cleaning pencil from cleaningpencil.com. Lovely Mr. Graham Dempsey, who is now home from America. And I think he's doing his quarantine time at the moment. He must be bored. He keeps messaging me.
Well, as long as he keeps selling his pencils, that's all that matters.
It's fantastic pencils.
Yeah.
I forgot to pick a number here, but hey,
13.
12. No, 14. And that is Bella 19879. And the final prize tonight is entry into any draw. I have to thank Jordan from Diggers Dips as well this week because one of the prizes that we sent out from the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine bundle a couple of weeks ago didn't end up at its destination by the looks of it. So because I've been stupid busy and not even able to respond to emails, Jordan's done me a solid and he's sending something out. 32.
37.
We're not very good tonight, are we? 31.
No, make the change.
Noodles 56. So identifying metal artifacts to Golden Graham Stokes, cleaning pencil to Bella 19879, and entry into ME draw to Mules 56. Thank you as ever to Diggers Dips and to the Cleaning Pencil Company for tonight's draw. Marvellous. There you go. I've still got cramp, but I'm not moving because if I stand up, it'll move. And
what, it's in your leg or your foot?
It's in me, that bit there.
I'll rub it. Hang on. Give it a little rub. Is that
nice.
Much just there? Down a bit higher, Dave.
Down a bit. That's it.
No,
it's my what's that called here? Above my knee, left inner thigh.
Yeah. Why haven't you got any? Have you got pants on?
Of course I have. You're under me pants there, mate.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Sorry. Yes, Graham Dempsey's pencil. I was using it the other day, and I love it. And he's I keep forgetting the name of it. The stuff in a shoe tin, the wax.
The
composite cleaning wax. The wax.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. Really nice stuff. And I've been using it now for nearly a year. And the coins I originally put a thin layer of coating on have been, well, they haven't gone funny or crystallised or anything bizarre like that. Really, really nice. And do you know what? I got a load of coins this week, Dave. You know, my dad passed away last year. He left me his coin collection. So I've got all his Roman and all his hammers and everything. And he got them off my granddad, who used to metal detect as well. My granddad used to put them in oil, like cooking oil or something. And,
boiled oil.
Well, I don't know what it knows. I think it was two-stroke or something like that. Probably ruined it. But some of the Romans, I've taken out the sleeves and wallets, like the old plastic ones like they used to have years ago, and they're absolutely really good condition. So I'm currently identifying those. Very excited about that.
People are saying Renaissance wax. I'll just get my kit out. Oh, it's not Renaissance wax.
Are you getting your kit out, Dave?
I'm getting my kit out. It's actually called Preserve It Microcrystalline Wax Blend. And that's from the composite cleaning pencil. It's like cleaningpencil.com.
It's like opening a tin of shoe polish, isn't it? But it doesn't smell much.
Well, I'm here. We've got brass brush inserts. We've got the artifact cleaning powder to go in with the crystalline wax. And we have the brass inserts. And we have the composite inserts. As well as that, we also have the Gladius cleaning solution, also available via the Cleaning Pencil Company. In fact, before the end of the show, before we do the early-gurdy videos, what they're called, we'll play Graham's advert.
Yes.
I'll put all my stuff back now. What a mess I make. So, I think we've come to the end of the show, really, haven't we, Adrian?
We've done well padding that out, flipping it.
Yeah. And we only mentioned the McGrafter at the very start as well, which is normally we carry a whole show on it.
Oh, we didn't mention Treasure Hunting magazine's out now with some mints are on the front cover.
The world's greatest metal detecting.
There's some good. It's untold finds in there this month.
Oh, mate, do you know what?
And it's getting worse. Not that it's a bad thing, but a lot of people are finding stuff.
Last week's guest, Gary Cook, his Carosius Silvers in there.
Well done.
Beautiful find. It's a stunning Tudor ring in there. Gordon Bailey, fantastic writer, Gordon Bailey. You can't
Gordon Bailey's books, been reading them for years. Yeah, Gordon, I didn't realise he lives around the corner from me.
Does he?
Yeah, but he's not on social media, so he's very
signed, can't you? That.
Huh?
Oh, I didn't see that one. A recovered fuselage section from Norton in Evesham, Worcestershire. Oof, lovely.
And there's also a guy who met Basil Brown when he was a little boy. He used to go around and
say Basil Brush there.
No, that's on page 84. He met Basil the Brush and Spit the dog. He was writing an article on that. He found a 1977 tenpence in Basil Brush's bottom, yeah. And also
Spit the dog. You'll like this story. Spit the dog. There's a place near Frodsham called Lady Hayes, which is a big antique centre. It's old prisoner of war prefabricated buildings, and it's now cut into individually into different antique shop. Bob Carolgees actually owns a candle. He was one of the first sellers in the UK of the Yankee candles, and that's where his shop is. Yeah, me and Bob, picture taken like that. Bob Carolgees.
It's an interesting fact. Many of people in the show tonight have got a Yankee candle in their house, and my housing manager loves them. Get her one at Christmas and everything. But Bob Carolgees in the 80s. Sorry, I got a fruit fly. He was struggling because people didn't want to hire spit the dog. So he invested in, you're right, Dave, the distribution of Yankee candles. And
Yeah.
back in the 80s, who'd pay £5, 10 quid for a candle? You'd be mental. But people slowly did. And he sold the company about 5 years ago, I think, for millions. And he's made a lot of money out of it. And it's really weird because he sold all his spit the dogs apart from the original one.
Yeah.
He's got one left. So I'll sleep tonight. I used to love that.
And do you know what? What a
was.
nice bloke he is too, because at the end of the day, I know him from growing up. He was like spit the dog on telly. So meeting him as an adult to me and so down to earth. And, you know, he even said, I get so bloody fed up of people asking me what happened to spit the dog. That's the first thing anyone says. He says, but at the end of the day, I'm known for spit the dog, so I'll talk about him all day long. I've got a flute flying here now. Must have come through the video.
Seriously? Yeah, I don't know I hate them. Hate fruit flies. Pomsey said he's got a refund on his cardboard box. Yeah, mine's gone back as well. So the cardboard box, that's good. The environmental box packaging for the we're talking about C-scope metal detector. So hopefully C-scope are working away and fixing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, before we do depart, we need to ask whoever comes up first, whichever one we see first, we have to do the discussing the finds at the end of the show in the style of, i.e. drop the dead donkey. So somebody give us straight away. Dick Emery and Larry Grayson. No, we can't. We'll get banned. Luke will get his channel banned if we do Dick Emery and Larry Grayson, won't he?
Why?
Because modern society and such like.
No.
Anyway, come on. Somebody go. Are we doing musical youth? No, because I'll get banned as well for that.
Bubbles.
Michael Jackson's Monkey. That was his favourite song, that, wasn't it? You know where I'm going.
It could be West Ham. Tony Kay would have put that. Yeah, it's Bubbles.
Adrian, do you know that what Michael Jackson's favourite song was?
No.
What song do West Ham fans sing?
I'm forever. Oh.
You can have that.
Arnie, what's going on, Tony? What's going on in your head, Arnie? Del Boy. Oh, that'd be an easy one for me. Well, probably not. I don't know.
I'll have to be Dave then, won't I? All right, Dave.
Dave, yeah.
Mr. Blobby. How can you do Mr. Blobby talking about fines? Blobby, 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 and then fall over because of me cramp.
Could do it in ladies.
Or is he actually calling me Mr. Blobby?
Yeah, I think he is, Dave. Yeah,
okay.
Proper. We could do it in ladies' voices, so anyone who tunes in like last minute would think, "What the hell?" Hinge and bracket. Do you remember them, Dave? Google hinge and bracket.
No, I do really. I was just lying.
Oh,
yeah, that's the point. What's the Liverpool score?
Duh.
Much more important. Oh, 3-1 to Liverpool. What am I missing here?
Rainbow. That's a good one.
That means that Liverpool are above the Dirty Hammers. Surely.
Oh gosh, I wonder why it was quiet in my house.
Do you know what?
Rainbow's
I'm so gutted I'm not in work tomorrow because all the Lanks would get it. Gutted. Anyway, I better pull that video up, hadn't I, incidentally? And then we will, in fact, got to do the other video first. Where's the other video? Show reels. Is that it? There it is.
Hey, should we do it in rainbow? Simon Hadlow said rainbow. I think that's quite a good one. Because I can go...
There you go.
Got that strap line revealing details since 2019. The Graham says, I like that. It's a good strap line to have for his.
Who wrote the review?
John Stimpson.
Out of the Stimpsons. The
No,
Stimpsons.
it's me. I actually saw it and bought it. I paid for it, and it was posted to me, and I did a review on it. Mr. Julian and Evan Hart got it to do a review, and he tested it out as well because he's very funny about stuff like that. He's paranoid about it damaging the coins, and he was impressed with it as well. So, but I actually purchased mine before I knew Graham and got it delivered in April last year, I think it was.
Mm.
Oh my God, I have had it a year. Yeah, lockdown, wasn't it? Yeah, lockdown. So there'll be a trouble in our house Saturday night. The missus in Brighton fan. Oh gosh, yeah. I think Dave will just.
We'll
We'll just have to. I'll do it in Dick Henry style.
Okay, you do Dick Henry then. That was
I can't
Steve.
do Dick Henry.
That was more. That was more. I was trying to be George then.
He's got pubic hair there.
Kim Powell's. Go on, you say that one.
Associación de Detectores Sierra Caradamara.
No, do it again properly. I tell you what, he does find some good stuff, doesn't he? I mean,
he does.
He shows you everything that he's found, but he does find some bloody good stuff.
He does. What detector's he using?
A metal one.
Oh,
a metal detector.
Is Marshmallow there?
No idea. I'll have to ask actually.
Crikey,
I was going to do impressions. I was going to do impressions, but I can't think straight. I can't
Dave
think.
Cunliffe. Oh,
These
wow.
are great ones by Dave
Oh,
Cunliffe.
my gosh. Thimble Mungus. Oh, Dave Cunliffe. Oh, nice.
Isn't it?
Oh, lovely. Like the way he has a description there. That's good. Hold it in front of the book.
Like that.
Can't do Boris Johnson.
I can't do anyone. My mind's gone blank.
I used to,
That's
Frank
a cannon.
Spencer. Dave, it's a ring.
Show us your ring.
Bell.
Was that a holy hand grenade of Antioch then?
Yes. It could. What the? No one's got gloves on. Need to wear gloves. That's at home though.
Was it in the house? You don't have to wear gloves in the house.
I do all the time. You never know. Might catch COVID.
Dogs and fruit flies and mice that chew your things.
I wear latex gloves. I sleep
Mark
in them.
McMullen. Do you?
Good 50p to keep the size.
I've got some beautiful white gloves
Flipping
with
heck,
little Masonic logos in them. Yeah, Rory Bremner's job safe. I've gone blank. Jay's Coop, look at this. When this is cleaned up in a minute, look at this. Beautiful.
Oh gosh, that is a bucket list.
Very gothic, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
Cy Weller.
Nice. Very nice.
And that's it. So thank you to everybody who've submitted your finds. You can do so on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group, or you can email myself at dave@thebigdetectingshow.com or Adrian at thebigdetectingshow.com, and we will.
I think Dave's gone. Have you gone, Dave?